Tech in 20, Season 1, Episode 9, How to Emboss Graphs from Desmos.
CATT, Center for Assistive Technology Training Northwest.
Welcome to Tech in 20, everybody. This week we have Neal McKenzie, who is an AT specialist from the VI program in Sonoma County, California. And this week, Neal is going to guide us through how to export tactile graphs from Desmos. Thanks for being here, Neal, and off to you.
All right, so we're going to see how this works. The goal here is to be able to take our beautiful Desmos graphs and make them embosser ready. There's so many things you can do as far as copying and pasting and putting into a student's workflow, but for them to have access, especially tactilely, that's what we're going to focus on today. So Eli is going to be my student, and we'll see see how this goes. So let's jump right into it. We did this a little while ago, and there's a lot of steps, so we'll just get right into it. So let's first go to our amazing Desmos graphing calculator website.
All right. How do I get there, buddy? Do I open up?
You have started screen search box.
Oh, sorry,
Angry Birds.
Well, let's do Angry Birds later. You can open Chrome.
Google Chrome. Address and search bar edit.
All right. And we go to desmos.com, right?
Yeah.
Desmos.
Desmos vertical bar beautiful free math dash Google Chrome.
Okay, friends. Where are we trying to get to now?
We want to go to that Open Graphing Calculator, which is a button on the main page.
All right. So I'm going to go to the top of the page like I showed you all here. Do Control Home.
Desmos vertical bar beautiful.
And just because I know this area already, I'm going to hit H for heading.
Beautiful free math heading level 1.
Perfect. I'm going to go down here, down arrow.
Desmos Studio. We visited link open graphing
right there. Hit enter on that.
Desmos vertical bar beautiful free math. Desmos vertical bar beautiful free math.
All right. What are we dropping in here?
All right. So you already heard that nice little pop.
Oh, yeah.
Which means we are in the edit box. But just in case, too, because sometimes it could put you in a different spot, you can always press Alt-Control-E to get to that edit box.
Oh, hold on. Let's show that off. All right, I'm gonna get out of here.
Desmos vertical bar graph.
We'll go to the top of the page.
Desmos vertical bar.
All right, so I'm at the top of the page.
Open
not in an edit box. Alt-Control-E, he says.
Desmos vertical bar.
Well, look at that. It actually worked.
Oh, are you surprised? So again, we heard that beautiful pop, which means that we are in our edit box where we want to be. So
CATT-NW right param.
Let's go ahead and let's just do something fun, something simple. So let's do y equals x squared.
Y?
Y equals. You need something on both sides. Y equals.
How do you do a squared?
This is a great question. So there's a few special keys that will let you do exponents and also will let you do like 2/3. So this is one that your student will want to know, and that is Shift 6, which is the up caret, which allows you to do the exponent. So once you press, Shift 6.
Superscript baseline. Quote Y quote.
Now you're in your superscript.
Baseline superscripts cannot be empty.
And how do I do it too?
That, I don't know who taught you before, but we're going to have to go back a few lessons. Okay, Leslie. All right, now let's press enter. We're good with that one.
Expression 2.
There you go.
And let's do y equals 5x. Let's just make it pretty.
Equal
5. Quote Y quote X quote.
Yep.
All right.
So we have our almost looks like a little triton there. Okay.
Cool.
So now remember, there's so many different things we can do with this, but for this particular lesson, we are trying to get it embosser ready. So let's go. Oh, let's see. How do you get back to the baseline after the exponent? So if you just press the arrow to the right, it will take you to the next open spot, and it will take you back to the main line. That's a great question. So let's first get this to the best possible aspect ratio for embossing. So we're going to go to our settings, and I always like to show my students the roundabout way to get somewhere, just in case they forget the specific key command, especially if it's new. But if we want to get to it as quickly as possible, the key command is Control-Alt-G.
Control-Alt-G.
Graph settings controls region.
Boom, it works.
And that's, Control-Alt-G. But remember, you always have things like your insert F5 or caps lock F5, depending on what your layout is, to get to those links or buttons, depending on what it is. And that's also another way to get to it. But to get directly there, Control Alt G. All right, now the first thing we want to do is we want to tab to where you hear minor grid lines, and it's a checkbox.
Reverse contrast checkbox not. Braille mode checkbox not checked. Grid checkbox checked. To click. Cartesian grid toggle button pressed. Polar grid toggle button not pressed. Arrows checkbox not checked. Axis numbers checkbox checked. Minor grid lines checkbox checked. To clear check.
All right. I'm on.
Okay, and the minor grid lines is something that's really gonna really take up too much space, especially when we're talking about embossing. So let's uncheck that. Let's get rid of those.
Not checked.
Those are not good for when we're ready to emboss.
Awesome.
And then also another thing, depending on your equation, and you should let your student know this before too, depending on what it is, sometimes this axis doesn't fit visually, the information. So they could easily change the x-axis and the y-axis. Eli, if you want to tab to x-axis.
X-dash label it blank. X-dash axis checkbox checked. X-axis minimum colon
And
checked.
by changing
maximum
the minimum and maximum numbers, you can really make sure you get that field of view that you want, especially to give the information that's important. But that's all we're going to do. That's all we need to do for this. So we can press escape. It'll save those settings that we just did.
Graph settings button.
Escape.
Yes. And now we want to go to that share button. And again, I always like to do the two ways. You can also do insert F6 and it's a link, so it will show up in your links list. But to get directly to the share button, let's do Alt Control plus S.
Alt Control S.
Share a snapshot button. To activate, press enter.
All right. Now we want to go to the export image button.
Tab over.
Export image button.
Tab again. There we go. Hit enter on that.
Yep.
Export image modal dialog. File format button menu.
There we go.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to see is file format. Let's press enter on that. And we have a few options. We have SVG, we have Braille Nemeth, we have Braille UEB. Let's go to our Braille Nemeth for this one. That's the one I use.
link. To Braille Nemeth link. To activate, press.
Will you pop quiz Leslie on what SVG stands for?
From Leslie Evans.
Nope.
Nope.
All right.
Our Braille Nemeth is selected, and you see visually it changed that graph. Now we see our Braille on it, and we see the tactile lines on it. So let's go to size now.
Size button menu.
Yep.
Press enter.
4 items. BP max left, paren 8.5x11 and right.
And it starts off at 8.511. And I know some people do have 8.511 embossers. I think all of ours are 11.5 by 11. So let's do VP max 11.5 by 11.
VP max left, paren 11.5x11 and right. Size button menu. Press space to activate them.
Go.
And then again, visually, we saw that paper change from 8.5 to 11.5. All right, so now let's go down to the two options. There's download Braille equations and download PNG. We want to download PNG.
Accessibility. Download Braille equation. Download PNG button. To
All right. Tabbed over to that. Hit enter on that.
Yeah, but before we do that, I just want to explain. So where it says download Braille equations, this is actually pretty cool. Let's say you have a list of equations that you use to build the graph. Those will download as I don't know if it's a BRL or BRF. It gives you that list. It does both. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you that list of equations, and you can open it and emboss it on Braille Blaster. You can, or a note taker, or any device that handles that file format. But let's go to download PNG.
Downloading Desmos dash graph left, paren 3 right, paren.png. 0% remaining. Download complete colon.
Welp. That was fast.
All right. Perfect. I know, right? So now let's go ahead and find our file.
Can I close this window?
Yeah, we're done here.
Trying to minimize clutter here, bud.
Good job. Yeah, you had a really good teacher.
They're all right. All right, let's open up the File Explorer here, Windows E.
Home dash File Explorer. List.
We're going to go over to the downloads.
Trade view home.
Shift tab.
Start a quick access dash desktop. Start a quick access.
Enter tab.
Documents
over.
left, paren pin right, paren not checked. Not checked. 5 of 13. Documents.
I did this wrong.
Navigation pane tree
You're
view.
on documents.
Access dash desktop.
You want to get to downloads.
Start a quick access dash desktop left. Documents left. Downloads left. Downloads dash File Explorer. Desmos dash graph left, paren 3.
All right, so I downloaded quite a few already, friends. So don't worry about that.
Today.
All right, we're going to open the latest one right here, right? Enter on that.
Photos. Desmos dash.
All right, Maestro, what do we do here?
All right, here's the big explain right here. So technically, here we should have the graph ready and it should be ready to emboss, but we are actually going to do a workaround because this feature used to work perfectly and I used it for a long time, but it became broken at some point. And this is what happens when it opens in preview, it gives you like a 1x1 square. And if you were to emboss this, I think it's like a 2x2 square and everything's smushed. So it doesn't provide you with anything useful. Desmos knows about this. They are working on to where the output can just be embossed, but we could still use this and I will show you the workaround. But that's the disclaimer. And also, when it does download to your computer, remember it's going to say Desmos graph and then a number on it, depending on how many graphs you have downloaded. So that's what your student's going to be looking for, Desmos graph with the number, and that number will represent how many graphs they've downloaded. All right, so the first thing we want to do is Control E, and we want to expand this.
Control E.
Desmos dash graph left paren.
Okay, now what we want to do is copy this image. So there's two different ways. I like to, you can number them. So you can tab 6 times, but what you wanted to do is focus on that image. So you can tab 6 times or listen for when it says drag and drop. And then I'll tell you what to do when you get there.
Desmos dash left paren 3 right.
2,
Image editor.
3.
Press enter for more save options. Cancel button.
6.
Cancel main region. Drag the image or use the arrow keys to move image and crop region. Semicolon dimension is 230 by 220 pixels graphic. Drag the image or use the arrow keys.
You lied to me, Maestro. It's 7.
It's 7. Okay, so that's why it's good to know the main keywords too for the focus. So you want to Control C.
Control
sure-
C.
Copied selection to clipboard. Success icon copied to clipboard.
There we go. Success.
Now we're going to take this and we're going to open our Tiger Designer, which is a free program that comes with any View Plus embossers and the APH PixBlaster.
Search box.
Search for Tiger.
View Plus Tiger Designer app. Press
There it is. Hit
It's a
enter on
free
that.
app.
Tiger Designer. About Tiger Designer dialog. Copy Tiger
Guys,
Designer.
get rid of that.
Let's go to Control N, or we can go up to File and go to New.
Where's
Either
that?
one.
New document dialog. Page size. Page width edit. 11.50 quote. Type in text.
Is
All
that
right,
here?
so that's already good. You're already set, so you can go to OK.
Tiger Designer left bracket right bracket Tiger Designer document.
All right, now let's do the magic Control V.
Pasted from clipboard. Bitmap properties dialog. Brightness edit. 0. Type in text.
All right, and right away it opens up a bitmap properties. The only one you want to really be concerned with is contrast. And that will give you the dot height. And it comes a little weak. So you always want to do the dot height in probably like around like -40, -45. So let's go to that contrast.
Brightness up down slider.
You-
Contrast edit. Contrast up down slider. 50%. To increase or decrease, use the arrow keys. Alt plus
Yeah, take it down. And you notice visually, you'll start seeing the lines get darker.
45, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 32%.
Is there a quicker way?
You could just write -45 in there's an edit
22%,
box.
12%.
contrast, but
Oh, nice. There you go. Page down right here. That's effective, Maestro.
that works too. And then you can tab to apply.
Edges edit. Edges up down. Reset button. To activate, press cancel button. Apply button.
Apply. Enter on that.
Tiger Designer left bracket right bracket Tiger Designer document.
And now what we have is our beautiful graph. The dot height looks good. It's filling up the paper, and you don't need to move it either. You just need to press paste. And at this point, now we're able to do Control P.
Print dialog. Printer combo box. APH PixBlaster left paren USB 001 right paren. 1 of 2. To change the selection, use the arrow keys. Alt plus P.
And there you go. And now you're able to emboss the graph that you just created using Desmos. And like I said, eventually they will fix it. So it will be streamlined. You won't have to do the copy and pasting at the end, but it's still not that huge of a workaround. I think if it was a couple more steps, I don't think I would have my students do it if they're fighting the process more than being able to interact with the work. But this isn't bad at all, especially if you run through it a couple times. So that's what we have. And Tiger Designer is a great free program too. And when the more complex graphing, like they have some ones that include shading and they have some that include overlap stuff, it gives you a lot of options in here to even like use different patterns and stuff. You can get really into it, but for quick reference to a graph, this is a great option. And it's awesome that we're at a point in technology where we can go from writing equations to an emboss graph within a matter of minutes. So that is the workaround. I think that's it. If anyone has any questions, I know we covered a lot in a little bit of time.
Downloads dash just professional screen sharing meeting control.
All right, Mr. Maestro, we're done.
Wowzers. I just have to say, wowzers. I don't know if anybody else's heads were starting to smoke a little bit there. That was so well explained, and you really walked us through. Thank you so much, Neal. And Eli, as being the best unruly student ever. So, not to worry, everybody. I put the link again into the chat for our training schedule. Neal is kind enough to put together a little cheat sheet for us, which will be uploaded and shared on that training schedule for today's session. And so for anybody watching this recording on YouTube, just head to the description under the video box, and that link to register for our Tech in 20s is in the description box on the YouTube video. And you do have to be registered for Tech in 20 to get access to the resources via the training schedule. But for those of you who are here live today, that link is in the chat. Go ahead and we will update that with a link to Neal's beautiful cheat sheet very soon. So thank you so much again, Neal, for being here, for sharing your expertise with us. I know I can speak for some others in the room. You know, as Leslie says, the frazzled TV eyes, that this would have been pretty hard for us to troubleshoot and figure out ourselves, especially given that this is something that Desmos is working to update. So just keep in mind, you guys, sometimes when you run into a tech issue, especially with this math that requires a couple layers of troubleshooting, sometimes it's not us, sometimes it's the tech, and this is where having that community of support really is helpful. And for that community of support, just a reminder also that we do have our Slack channel. It's a great way to ask a quick question. There's a lot of people to help troubleshoot with that. And you know, we do recommend making a free account on Slack first, and then click on the link to join our Slack. And that link is coming to you. Leslie, if you could help put that link into the chat. I just don't seem to have it pulled up right now.
Yeah, I'll get it for you.
Okay, thank you so much. So go ahead and post questions on our Slack, and we've got several people checking it every day. And of course, anybody is welcome to answer a question as well if you know the answer. So at this point, I'm going to turn the recording off, and we'll have some time for open Q&A and discussion. Thank you so much, Neal.
CATT, Center for Assistive Technology Training Northwest.
The contents of this video were developed through a partnership with the American Printing House of the Blind, APH. CATT Northwest is based at the Washington State School for the Blind, WSSB. Logos, WSSB and APH. The contents of this video were developed under a contract authorized by the Department of Education. However, these contents do not necessarily represent the policy of the Department of Education, and you should not assume endorsement by the federal government.